So here we have my Skunk2 exhaust, and this is for a 2006 to 2011 Honda Civic Coupe, and it is the EX version, so it is the 60mm piping. So in this video, I'm going to first unbox it, and then in a couple days install it, because I do not have the time to install it today. Here's the first piece. We have a little Skunk2 owner's kit, that's the first thing. After that, we have the axle back. So this is from the axle, and then the muffler. We'll set that aside. Next thing we have in here is the pipe that connects to the header and then to, I don't know, the downpipe, I guess, if you want to call it that. The next pipe we have is an angled, just another angled pipe right there. A bag of gaskets and all the required bolts. And finally, we have the resonator. Actually, there's one more thing in here, and it is just another part of the pipe. And the thing that I will most likely never be using, and that is the silencer. But it's good to have in case for whatever reason you need your car to be quiet. I realized I forgot to show this off, so basically this is just a little owner kit thing that it comes with. So when you go ahead and actually open it and get into it, the first thing you are presented with is the authentication card, basically that says that this is a genuine Skunk2 part, and then right here we have that. And then also the last thing that it comes with is a book that basically just showcases all of the products that they make, and then they show some of the builds and stuff. So that is every single thing in the box. Once I get it all unwrapped and in a line so you guys can see how it is, but I will be back in just a second. I gotta go to work. I will be back, and then we will look at more in depth into this exhaust. Okay, so I laid out the exhaust. So here we have where it connects to the header, and then it goes all the way back, all the way to the muffler. And what I did was I just laid it out, inspected all the welds, make sure nothing's cracked, nothing's broken, everything is there, and it looks good. So I'm gonna put it all away, and on Saturday, that is when we're gonna come back to this. All right, today is install day, meaning that this is my last time that I'm going to have with the straight pipe. So real quick, I'm gonna start it up, go for a little drive, so I can film and remember when I had a straight pipe. So here is the final startup of my straight pipe, FG1. Real quick, I'm just gonna do a little bit of revs. The car's now warmed up, it's been warming up for like 10 minutes. I'm now gonna do a couple revs so I can remember what it sounds like when it's revving. Me and my brother are also gonna go to a tunnel, and we're just gonna drive around because it's the last time I have with the straight pipe. And like I said, I wanna remember this. Jackson's last time driving it because he has an EP3 and his is SI, but his is stock exhaust, so he likes driving my straight pipe. So I'm gonna let him drive it one last time, and then after we drive it home, I'm probably gonna instantly install it once the exhaust cools. So I will take you how I personally installed this exhaust. All right, I'm headed to Harbor Freight right now because I need 2 more jack stands because we only have 2, and I want the whole entire car up off the ground. So I'm gonna head there real quick, and I know Harbor Freight is not the best quality tools, but honestly, I only need it to hold the car up real quick so I can install an exhaust. You changed my mind. I'm gonna head to Walmart first because Walmart, I don't know how good their car tools are if they're not professional or whatever, but they may be safer than Harbor Freight, so I'm gonna go check there, compare prices, and then we'll see what I end up getting. Up going with Walmart jack stands because I texted a friend and he said to not buy from Harbor Freight or O'Reilly's. I don't know why, but probably just because they're not quality. So I went with Walmart. I don't know if they're professional, but they're good enough for what I'm doing. So now we can go home and actually install the exhaust. Right here, there is a bolt, and that's the bolt that I'm going to be trying to taking off. And then I'm just gonna cut the exhaust in half because it's, like I said, it's all custom and super bunk. So what I'm going to be doing first is simply just spraying the bolt to try to get all of the heat off. Because the exhaust, I just barely drove to Walmart, so it's hot. So that's what I'm doing right now, is just kind of cooling it off. Next, I'm gonna spray it with PB Blaster to try and get some of the rust off. So I think what we're gonna do is take off this bolt and then this bolt. Hopefully they will come off relatively easy. And then at just points, cut the exhaust with a metal cutter thing, and then just take the exhaust off, because really this is the only point where it's connected to the car. Other than that, there is like some rubber hangers right there and also down right there. So then once we get all the exhaust off, I will come back when it's all installed. I'll take you a little bit through the installing process, but I'd rather more focus on taking it off, because it's just unscrewing screws. If you are trying this at home and you're personally having problems with maybe the screws coming undone, try getting some PB Blaster, maybe a metal wire, scrape some of the rust off. I don't know how bad our screws are because we haven't really tried to take anything off yet. So here, these are what attach this to the engine. And on this one, it was so bad that we actually broke the bolt. So what we have to do is get a new bolt, rethread all this stuff, which I'll explain it once we actually do it. But basically, this bolt is super bunged. So right now we're using a Sawzall or some kind of like saw, and we're just gonna cut the exhaust so we don't have to take off the bolts and kind of just bend it over for the axle, and hopefully like the exhaust all comes off, and I'll kind of explain more when it's quieter. So we cut off this piece right there so we didn't have to take off the bolts, and then the rest of it is right here, and as you can see, we just kind of slid it out, cut off the hangers, and then this is where we cut it off, and now we are ready to start mounting all of this new exhaust. The only thing is, like I said earlier, is about this screw. We gotta figure out a way to get this out of the header. I'll show you. As you can see, there is a screw, like a hole in there, so the screw just has to go in. But right here, the screw snapped. So we gotta figure out a way to get this off and then out of the header. We need to go find a new one of these because one of them broke. So we just have to go find a new one of these now. So we went over to O'Reilly's, I believe is what it was called. And we got these right here. They are spring bolts that should fit with the exhaust. So these are gonna mount the header to the exhaust piece, and now we're just basically gonna start bolting all the exhaust up. The exhaust is finally done, so here it is. It goes all the way back. We had to do, I believe, there were 4 different little gasket sections that we had to do. Everything is done, and it is all now ready for startup. All right, so I got changed and I'm all ready. This is the startup of my 2007 Honda Civic EX with the 60mm Skunk2 exhaust. So my brother's gonna drive it. I do apologize for the wind. I will try to make it as good as I can, but I'm just sorry it's windy. So after driving it now for about 5 minutes, the one thing I do notice from this exhaust compared to my straight pipe is it is much, much quieter. Do I like it? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I do like that it's now legal and I don't have to carry some bunk ass freaking muffler in the back of my car, but decide for yourselves how you like it. So that is going to wrap up this exhaust install. I hope you did enjoy. I hope it helped. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.